this is the truth between the Ice Cube and Mack 10 beef. When there's really isn't any beef between them personally, but there's a matter in which they will never be working together again. And it all happens because Ice Cube decided to involve his family into his business. Now, when Westside Connection started out, Mack 10 was the big engine behind everything, because Mack came out, he already had his album coming out and stuff, and Cube kind of got on there with N.W.A, and they did the Westside Connection on Mack 10's album, which set the stage for them to come out with the album Westside Connection when they were putting it in play. And what they were doing was going to make another N.W.A. So the theme when the Presidents was set, and when they had the success they had on the first album, on the Bow Down album, everybody was up in arms with it, and you know, people doing their thing, and they making money and going out doing their shows, and things is going good. And all of a sudden, you know, everybody had to start doing their independent joints and doing their work, and you know, everything is starting to come back together now, because they're getting ready to come back to do another, you know, Westside Connection album. Everybody's like, okay, we clearing our schedule so we can get back to work on this album. And this is in 2003. But this time there's a snag. And the snag is Ice Cube incorporates his brother-in-law into the mix. And the brother-in-law is like one of the managers of the album, an overseer. And this right away is not a good working environment for Mack 10. And like Dub and him never had problems. The brother-in-law, it was always Mack 10, and the way he was talking to Mack 10 and his guys, and he was trying to be authoritative and show that he was in charge, and like if anybody needs something, they come to him, and he go to Ice Cube and Q. You know, Mack is like, what? You know, and the wife is more involved. You know, Kim is down on the sets. You know, they just came off tour, and it's like, look, man, we supposed to be doing these shows, and we got these shows coming up that we supposed to be doing, these concerts. You know, we got the album drop, and we didn't doing some shows, and we talking about going in this other direction. You know, dropping another album down the road, and here it is. You know, we got this situation where this brother-in-law keeps overstepping his boundaries and talking to people crazy. And so he brings it to Ice Cube when they were in Denver. And he told him, he said, look, man, this dude is telling me what I should be doing. He's not Westside Connection. You know, I understand you giving your brother-in-law a job, but he's not Westside Connection. He don't have the authority to be doing what he's doing right now. So Q was like, man, look, I'm going to talk to him, man. Just deal with it, Mac. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know the situation. You know what it is. Deal with it. Just focus on the music. That's all you got to worry about. You know, and let's do the shows. So they did a show, did a couple of shows, and they got into it again over another issue with him and Mack 10's one of the Bloods that's with Mack 10, and they about to fight. You know, because he's talking to him reckless, and Mack come down there to get in there to try to break it up. So the brother-in-law is upset. So he tells Cube again, like, man, we had another incident with this guy. Man, you gonna have to do something, man, you know, and let him know his place, man. Just all you gotta do. If you say it one time, I'm quite sure he'll know he messed it up. You know, but you need to tell him that. So, another discussion happened. Next thing you know, he gets into it. A fight breaks out with Q's brother-in-law and Mac 10's crew. And once the fight break out and the brother-in-law get beat up, you know, and that little thing, he got a little scuffed, you know, he got in a fight with some goons. And they were tired of him. So even though the brother-in-law, who was wrong in the occasion, walks off and everything, and they was like, man, Q find out he finna snap. So him and Mac have a big ass argument in the back, and Kim is there, and Mac is yelling, and so is Q, and they having this discussion. He's like, man, I told you about him. I told you over and over again about dude and what was going on here. You didn't want to address it, so it got addressed. And what he kept trying to say was, man, this is the way to do it. You know, I told you to address it, and you didn't address it, so now it had to get addressed this way. And now Kim is all in Q's ear. You gonna let him talk to you like that? You gonna let him get away with that? He crossed the line. That's family. And you gonna either choose these thugs or your family, cause that's her brother. So Ice Cube was, man, you cross family lines, man. You cross family lines. You know, you can't disrespect the family. So, you know, and it was. Like Mac 10 has said, he said, if I had this argument with Cube and she wasn't there, we'll still be making records, man. It's just that she's calling the shots on that. So, by her calling the shots on that situation, now we got a bigger problem. Because she's going to halt any type of reunions and anything else that's going on. And Ice Cube has no plans of ever doing anything with Mac 10. He released the album on the same day as Mac 10. He has done, even though he has no beef with Mac personally, he don't want Mac 10 ever working with him again. And Mac is like, come on, man, let's unite and get this money, me, you, and Dub. But Ice Cube was talking about putting out another West Side Connection because he owns the name. He's gonna bring in the game and get another person in there, if not Dub, and then they're gonna do West Side Connection all over again. So Mac is just out. No matter how many times they try to dress it up, no matter what they try to do, Cube will not work with Mac 10 again. His wife will not allow it. It's your boy Carcino. I'm out.